As we come to the end of the first National Symposium on Criminal Procedure Identification Act 2022, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to all the chairs and principal discussants for taking the time out from their busy schedules and giving their valuable inputs. I also thank our presenters who joined us online as well as in person. With this, I invite our chief guest, Mr. Amol Deshmukh, to share his thoughts.
Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir, Dr. Swapnil Bangali, Dr. Arpali Madam, and Palash Sir. I am very happy to be a part of this symposium. It was a great time to interact with the young minds in the legal field. The topic, which was criminal procedure of identification, it's a very interesting topic. I was discussing with the faculties how this journey has happened, and today we are having a tool for criminal identification. Initially, I just told you in the previous session, only photographs was there with the police to match. Now I will tell you I was a technical member in one of the device that is called as MBIS, Automated Biometric Identification System, which was implemented by Maharashtra Police. It's Asia's first multi-modal biometric system. So that system was including not only fingerprint but entire palm print, an iris scan, and even it can do facial recognition. Now what I will tell you, on railway station or on places where these police can take the scanner and they can just ask you just put your fingerprint. If that is matching with the database, police can catch. So this is the development which has happened in the recent time, and Maharashtra became a first state to have this system. Okay, so that system is uploading now, creating a database and all. So currently they have only database of 12 lakh fingerprints, which is maintained by CID Maharashtra. Okay, so as I told you, now it is not only the fingerprint, it is entire palm print is there. Apart from palm print and all, there is other type of retinal and iris data is also there. Second important thing which is included in these things are the biological markers, biological data. Like in cases like rape and sexual offences, the biological data is also going to be collected. Biological data means what data? So the data, the evidences which can give the DNA. Like for example, seminal fluid, then saliva, then other biological samples can be collected in these cases, and the data like the DNA is extracted, the band DNA is collected, and that will create a specific data base for this. Apart from then, there was a behavioral attributes which are also going to be considered in this case, like handwriting. So there is a well-established science where from the signature or from the handwriting we can reach to a person. Apart from that, there is a behavioral thing. In case if we want to go into the detailed investigation of a behavioral profile like narco, polygraphy, brain mapping, that can be integrated. So actually this is a very detailed way of analysis. Like when you will have this much of data, so it is very difficult to escape from this. So today's session there were discussing on the both side legal aspects and ethical aspects and all. But if you see, if we implement this technology, what ultimately we are going to get? As a forensic expert, I can say that of course this is going to improve our conviction rate. Second thing, it is going to do a very speedy trial. And the criminal who are taking advantage of location, like they will commit crime here and then they will run away. So there will be advantage to catch those criminals who are taking advantage of such situations. Okay, there are a lot of advantages also, like even for prison management system also, they will have a better edge on identification of the criminal. So at the end, I would like to thank everyone for being part of such a great discussion and great event. Thank you and wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to invite Dr. Swapnil Bangali to give the vote of thanks.
Good evening, and today after listening to our chief guest, I should not say good evening. First and foremost, this idea came to our mind almost one and a half years back, when the law was almost in the making. And I still remember it was 18th of April 2022 when this act was passed. And together with some of the greatest minds, we thought that we'd be able to have this kind of a symposium, especially on the Criminal Procedure Identification Act, in the same year, in the month of April. Like, it was a daredevil act. But sometimes the destiny has its own ways and fancies where it makes you run from pillar to post. Many of the people said that it would be too early to predict things. And I was under impression that, see, come what may, it's a contemporary area of law. Why not to discuss this in a public forum, and somehow we should have some people who could come and just deliberate upon it. And interestingly, things were almost on the cards that it could happen. And there was another institute where we were thinking of having it, but I think we were all destined to discuss it in MNLU. So I'm really glad, because we are supposed to discuss it in MNLU. And as far as today's event is concerned, from the bottom of my heart, I would like to thank all the office bearers. Firstly, our visionary Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Dilip Uke, who has been instrumental in guiding lakhs of minds. I've seen him as a teacher, I've seen him as a Dean in a University of Pune, and then subsequently, as a VC, and it's really an honor to work with him. Whenever we had discussed any new idea, any new law, any new contemporary ideas, he was always there to guide us. Other than that, all the office bearers of MNLU Mumbai, including Registrar Sir, are always there to help us out with all the details. So big thank you to them. All faculty members have done a brilliant job, who have been involved into it. Without thanking Anand and Garima, I cannot complete this vote of thanks. So big thank you to them. Astha, a special mention to her as well. Always with a smiling face, she used to work a lot. So big thank you to her. And all the faculty members who have actually instrumental in actually judging it as chair in session. Milind sir is here. He was also kind to accept our invitation to chair the session. Tanaya, she was also there to help us out. So all of them, they were really kind to extend the support. So big thank you to them. Firstly, today I felt a little different. Like, normally what happens is that the chief guest should be thanked first, and then, the speaker should thank first. I think it's a day when VC sir currently is not here, Registrar sir currently not here. I said, like, chalo, let's do it the other way around. Our people first. So, our people first. Now, thanking the minister, ex-minister, Mr. Rajendra Bhai Trivedi, I must tell you, there were so many examples where he had led the life of a great criminal lawyer, and as he said that no lawyer can be criminal. I will just take my words back and correct myself, that he's a leading practitioner in criminal law. Just to make it very clear about him, that he's a kind of a person whom I found to be a guide when we first met him. Like, my wife Harita, she has been lucky that she had seen her early days of practice when she was practicing, and normally it happens in courts that as a young lawyer you idolize someone, like somehow it happened with sir that she could see him that inke jaisa banna hai. And fortunately, she has been keeping in touch with him, and then we used to discuss some cases with him. And you see where it takes you. Sometimes you never know. Within the span of almost around 20 years of good connections with him, suddenly we see him as a law minister and a revenue minister and a speaker of an assembly in most progressive state of Gujarat. Right? Big thank you to him. Still he is the same. Still he has the same passion. Still he has the same love for law. Still he has the same love to discuss something with the students of law. So big thank you to him. Must confess, me and Harita were literally following Ujjwal Nikam sir, and he was also very kind. He is also a family member, so we could easily request him to come to MNLU. He was very much eager to come here, but unfortunately his health did not permit him. He was traveling extensively in last 2 weeks. He had promised that he would come, but last night he felt little, dizzy also because he was traveling a lot. And in the morning he said, I can't make it. Like his son called up and he said, like, I can't make it. But he had conveyed a great success to this symposium. So big thank you to him as well. Then I should not forget Palas sir. He was all the time there, not just in terms of just giving a session or being a chair, but he has helped us in many ways. Tan man dhan se इन्होंने symposium को support किया है. So big round of applause for him. Big thank you to you, sir. Yes, and also I would like to thank Bharat Chuk sir, who had given that much of time. He was busy again from Supreme Court. He's practicing, and obviously he had tried his level best to involve himself into this. With Pawan sir, I can take this liberty because Pawan Trivedi ji is like a person who would always be keen to see something new happening and there. I mean, in Gujarat, multiple times I have appeared in courts. Whenever I just called him and said that, so this is something different kind of a matter, I don't know how to handle it, or probably on the same day I have a matter somewhere in Aurangabad or in Nagpur, he would say, Allah de thoda, I'll do it. Without even discussing anything, he would just send his people, without even discussing how much of time it would take, he will always be there to support. And obvious it was that when I said something like this, that it's about Criminal Procedure Identification Act, the eyes sparkled a lot. इस पे करते हैं तुरंत, कहाँ करना है, where? I'll ask my dad to also come. Immediately there were some positive vibes. So big thank you to him as well. Actually, I was constantly coordinating him to get Trivedi sir here. So big thank you to him. And I cannot forget my friend, my brother, Amol Deshmukh. I think we sometimes forget that when we have met first. It's like the first ever time we have met him, there was no discussion on what you like, what we don't like, or what exactly is the thing that is there in your mind. It's like genuinely as if we have met for the first time, as if we are meeting it for the 100th time. So big thank you to this man, that he is instrumental in multiple MOUs with MNLU and very, very important institutions in the country. He is instrumental in an MOU which is working really well, and we will see the future very soon, which would come out with National Forensic Science University. And he had promised me the time, and it was a real time that he had come and shared his views on forensics. He's a big forensic expert, let me tell you. Today, because there were so many papers lined in and there were other guests also speaking in detail, so we could not give him a time slot at that big factor, time factor. And I must say that someday, sir, without your permission, and giving this promise from your side to the audience, that in MNLU he'll be discussing certain things regarding forensics which will definitely be new. Problem is that sometimes I find out that this man has so much of talent that I can't make it out that on what topic I should ask him to speak. In forensics, I was thinking initially when I started working in that there are around 12-13 branches. But this man one day comes and says, there are 74 branches, sir. And I was like, and he knew most of them, then this is generic to say that it is forensic science. He is forensic science expert. In literal sense, he knows everything about forensics. So big thank you to him. Most importantly, the participants. We were thinking that it's a new law, and obviously how the response would be. This is an overwhelming response, almost more than 67 papers we got. And big thank you to all of you that you have contributed a lot to this cause, because something which we thought of, let's see, if it is a new piece of legislation, it's always mind-boggling that what would be the response from the people, because if it is a well-established or probably an area where the gap exists, researchers are there to come and say that this is what it is. So, here it was different. There is no text, no literature available, still people contributed. And I'm really happy the kind of response we have given. A big thank you to participants as well. Then I must thank all the force behind it, ultimately the students. Whatever happens, it's all for the students, it will be for the students. And I cannot forget some of the names here. The volunteers for both CICTL as well as CalStar, and I must not forget Pro Bono as well. You know, all of them, they have contributed a lot, and cannot forget few names: Vedant, Kinza, Nishchay, Akash, Himanshi, Porus, Isaac, Joseph, Shamini, then Misha, Sia, Avantika, Ritika, Tatva, Manushi, Triya, Anurag. Big thank you to you. Without you, it wouldn't have been possible. Thank you is a very small word. Very, very small word. There are so many known, unknown hands who have contributed into this venture, National Symposium. Big thank you to all of them as well. I just forgot to mention her, our research assistant who has contributed a lot. I just forgot your name. I think we are meeting just 2 times, so just forgot. Can you just please? Amrusha. Yes, Amrusha, thank you so much. It was wonderful to, work with Amrusha and all of you. Thank you once again. With a prayer that this is just the beginning, and when new things come up, may our mind get more involved into the ideas and the research ability behind it forces us, or rather force us to do some new things. It's just an experiment. Probably the new experiments would reach out to the new heights. Thank you once again. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words. With this, we conclude our symposium. I would request the participants to please be seated while the dignitaries walk the dais.
Sir.